All right, thanks for joining us. This is Jonah Bolt, owner of Hemp and Heal, and really excited today to talk to Dr. Richard Alan Miller. For those of you that don't know him, he is a phenomenal physicist, knows a lot about plant medicines, also ex-Harvard professor, worked for Navy Intel for 7 years, worked with the government, has done many projects, written many books, papers, and it's really exciting to be with you here today, Rick. And my first question, I want to know about the 1992 Articles magazine in High Times about you taking part as a physicist growing pot on the moon and what you guys found out about that. So tell us about that project.
1968, when I came out of graduate school, I started working for the Boeing company. And the first job I had with Boeing was working with Lunar Base Alpha 1 under Art Pilgrim. It was located in South Park as the Boeing Scientific Research Laboratories, later moving to Kent as the Space Center. And what we did was work with hydroponics and growing various forms of marijuana to see if the indica variety, to see if we could change the tumble of cannabinoids using light. We were very successful in discovering how to make Acapulco gold and other forms that are now part of what they call the Emerald Cup. We were doing that in 1968. So
you did experiments with the government and these big agencies to manipulate light so you could take a cannabis plant and say make it 90% THC or 90% CBD. You were able to manipulate the actual cannabinoids within the plant. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's correct. Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, I also want to mention, I know you're working with a big group in Canada. There's a big investor group. Canada just went fully rec starting next year, so this is a very important. What is that facility about in Canada? How is that going to benefit the people?
There's a group of investors in information transfer that have invested in building a large extraction facility in Quebec, and the Canadian government has given them the permit like they have in Saskatoon. It'll be a solvent extraction plant using carbon dioxide, a large one, to do large volumes of medical marijuana extraction. And that project just started.
And that's going to include the different cannabinoids, CBD, CBG, CBN, and this is what we're talking about, is educating people in different cannabinoids. There's now discovered 113 total cannabinoids that when you take them in a full spectrum produces the entourage effect. So we'll get into that in the next video. I also want to talk about, you're also on the Medical Marijuana Board of Oregon. What is your take on that in terms of how are you guys educating people? How has that helped bring the message of cannabinoids and the benefits of health marijuana to the people?
I think that our position, my personal position on that, is that the general making it free to the public as a recreational drug is wrong, because like tobacco or alcohol, it'll stop all the research on the medical benefits of marijuana. And so we are lobbying now to re-inhibit that general thing where they've made it a recreational drug in Oregon. We think that if we do that and remain it as a medical permit only, I think that doctors should be allowed to write as many permits as they want so as to not prohibit anyone's access to the drug.
And I want to say that actually from that standpoint, Rick, I understand that because 90% or more of doctors, medical marijuana doctors that I've met with in the last month with Hemp and Heal have said they know 99% of the phone calls they're getting from people that want a medical marijuana card, they're not sick of cancer, they're not dying of HIV, they just want to get high. So medicinally, this is why I understand your cause on recreational, just getting people high. CBD and cannabinoids is where it's at to ingest to really feel and health the body. CBD makes up 40% medicinally of the marijuana plant, where THC is a lot less. So when you're talking about medical marijuana, medical cannabinoids, I fully support that, rather than everyone just going around smoking pot thinking that they're going to get healthy that way. That's not how it works. We're talking about full spectrum cannabinoids. So Rick, I appreciate your time. I know you've written several books, biophysicist, physicist. You're all about, and you're also with another company, Botanicals. I remember you were with a while back. So you know your stuff. We'll definitely have you back on soon. And again, this is Dr. Richard Alan Miller. And Rick, again, thank you for joining us and supporting medical marijuana, supporting cannabinoids, supporting the real medicine that we're talking about not just getting high on marijuana, but medically helping people to feel better. So thank you, Rick. I'm with you on that one. We'll take a toke.
Yeah. Well, I have my own little way of doing it. I use it chilling.
There you go. All right, Rick. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Over and out. Hemp and Heal. Check us out. Check the link above.